Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're all in good health and good spirits. And I hope you are in a contemplative mood, uh, which will put you in the right frame of mind, inshallah, for some of the things I'd like to share with you in this video offering. So I think if I had to choose a title for the topic for this episode, I'd say it's something related to the truth, or in Arabic we say al-haq. So I'm going to tell you two stories that I just heard today from the Matam, which stuck with me quite clearly. So the first one was a story about a very famous personality in the Arab world, particularly in Islamic history, a gentleman called Abu Dhar al-Ghafari. Abu Dhar was one of the very first people who, shall we say, believed in the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he was spreading his message in the early days. And Abu Dhar was very known for his wisdom. This is a man that was independently very wise. And Islamic history, I think, treats Abu Dhar harshly, in the sense we're made to believe that when the Prophet, peace be upon him, passed away, he decided to live in exile and spent the rest of his life living alone in a desert. I don't know how true that is. A lot of our Islamic history is written from a number of different sources. What I do know for sure is that this man was very wise. And the story I heard today was how he came to become a Muslim from the beginning. So some of you may know, before Islam, the Arabs, particularly in our region, were very much pagan worshippers. They were staunchly pagan, some of which were hardcore. Their whole society was based on the worship of idols of different shapes, sizes, and names, and this goes back to thousands and thousands of years. It was unheard of for any tribe. Every tribe had their own gods, or series of gods, and they'd make offerings to it, and so on. So the story that I was told today was that Abu Dhar was worshipping the idol that his tribe worshipped, and as was the norm, he would offer he would offer the idol milk. So he put a bowl of milk in front of the statue as an offering, and he just sat there and just was looking at the idol and contemplating. And they say a desert fox, came out of nowhere, came in and saw the milk, and guess what a fox in a desert that sees the milk will do? It went up to the bowl and it drank it whole, didn't leave a drop. And Abu Dhar was just looking at this situation. And if that wasn't enough, the fox somehow made its way up to the statue's head and urinated on it. So at that point, Abu Dhar, and he has his words, and in Arabic they're classic poetic words that are balanced, and I dare not remember the verses that he spoke, but I definitely remember the feeling and the meaning behind them. He basically said, how could any god not be able to protect its own offerings? And how could any god allow a desert dog to urinate on him? This doesn't make any sense to me at all. So Abu Dhar was in a situation where he encountered a truth, a shattering truth of reality. And he said they say ever since that day he was just looking up at the stars and in seeking something. And he didn't know what he was seeking, but he just knew it wasn't in the form of these idols. Then, as soon as he heard that there was a prophet that is preaching that there is no God but one God, he went immediately to visit him and was immediately on board that direction. So the truth for Abu Dhar was a shattering experience when he had to leave thousands of years of tradition, family, to go in a direction that he saw to be true based on his own experiences. So I don't want to go into the discussion of whether the truth is objective or subjective. Objective would mean that there is a very firm, concrete version of it that everybody must relate to at the extreme. And on the other side, people that say the truth is subjective will basically say, if I believe it to be true, then it's true. It's subjective to me. I would argue that there's a room in between. It is not completely objective and not completely subjective, somewhere in between. But that's just where I'm at. I'm not here to convince you or anything like that. But moving on to another example of a story I heard today that shows that some people are just adamant not to see the truth. It doesn't matter how much proof you show them, they will not see it because they do not want to see it. So if Abu Dhar could not deny it, he just could not deny this happening with this fox. And he went with that. He went with the truth. And that took him away from what he used to be. This story is about the opposite of that. So it's a short story really, but it proves a point. There were two guys walking in the desert. And from a far distance, they saw the shape of some type of animal. And one of them said, I bet that's a crow. I'm pretty sure that's a crow. And his friend's like, that is not a crow. That's a goat. And he's like, listen, I'm pretty sure that's a crow. And his friend said, nope, I've been in this desert maybe longer than you, and I'm telling you that's a goat. And as they were looking at it, the animal flew. So it was obviously a crow. See, the guy says, see, I told you it was a crow. And he goes, no, even if it flew, it's still a goat. So, talking about being stubborn. So this is a person that will not bow down to the truth. The argument was, is it an airborne animal or an earthborne animal? And it clearly flew. But he will not back down. His ego will not allow him to destroy the image that he is right. And there are many people like that, sadly, today. And I think the reason is it's really easy to laugh at that guy. But in many ways, many of us do that. Many of us hold on to a truth because, we hold on to, we hold on to a version of the truth so strongly that when it's proven otherwise, we still hold on to it because it's our truth. And I think that is where a lot of us get into a lot of trouble. In the Quran, I was listening to my friend Joseph through one of the online courses that I've just finished. I highly recommend Joseph's work. And he was talking a lot about the truth, and what he was saying reminded me a lot of what the Holy Quran, some of the verses of the Holy Quran. I'm just gonna help you listen to the verses of the Quran in Arabic, and then I'm going to read you the English. And I want you to hear the verses in the Quran or feel them, not for any other reason apart from they're just beautiful. I feel like I wouldn't give them worth reading it in Arabic. Although I can't read it, but I'll just make you listen to it.
بل نقذف بالحق على الباطل فيدمغه فإذا هو زاهق ولكم الويل مما تصفون.
So that verse basically says, rather we dash the truth upon falsehood, and it destroys it, and thereupon it departs. And for you is destruction from which you describe. So the most important word here for me in Arabic is نقذف بل نقذف بالحق. The word قذف in Arabic can be translated into project, something that is projected. But in my mind and in my heart, it's very close to the word thrown, as in something is thrown. قذف الشيء, to throw something. And to link the throwing action with the truth is, I think, very, for me, very, very strong, because the truth here is something that is hurled at you, something that is thrown upon falsehood, and it shatters. There's no option but for this thing that is other than the truth to shatter, which is why we often say the truth hurts, because it's just shattered something inside us. Like for Abu Dhar, that fox drinking up that milk and urinating on his head, on the idol's head, that was a shattering of the truth, which he responded to. And I think if we truly live a life that is true, not true to you as an individual, what you want or what you don't like, what you want or what you don't want. I don't think the truth really gives a damn about what you want. The truth is the truth. It doesn't need to bend to your will. You or me or us need to follow it. So when a truth obliterates something or obliterates something in us, if we follow that, if we allow it to obliterate us, we are a different version of ourselves. The part of us that was holding on to that falsehood is gone, because you can't have both. You're either in truth and it's taking you somewhere that you may not have chosen, or you're living falsehood, and those two don't mix, which I find fascinating. I think Buddhist philosophy talks a lot about the obliteration of self. I know in Sifuism or Sifu philosophies, they also talk about the obliteration of self. And I think what they refer to here, the obliteration of self, which could be a whole different episode. And I'm just looking at the time now, because I've got 15 minutes and I'm coming up to the end of that. So maybe I should make that into another offering. I think we'll make that executive decision right here and now. So I'll wrap up this particular episode just with a summary about living one's truth, and understanding that when we do live our truth, there is a shattering of something. Something is broken and it will never, ever be mended. And if you don't have that, then you're not dealing with the truth. You're dealing with some perception of it, because the truth is shattering. And in the next episode, inshallah, I'll speak a little more about that, inshallah. Thanks for watching, and see you real soon, inshallah.